Our final speaker, Hani White. Hani White is the co-founder of Feed the Barrel, a movement to turn used cooking oil into biodiesel, compost, and soap. She is an economic development professional with more than 10 years experience in asset building, business development, nonprofit management, and an expertise in immigrant and refugee population. Hani also serves as a member of Governor Tom Wolf's Commission on Asian Pacific American Affairs.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Again, my name is Hani White. First of all, we would like to thank you, Secretary Redding, for giving us the stage to share our humble immigrant story. Thank you to Tiffany and Chang and Natalie Crack to facilitate our visit today too. And I bring my husband. He is the urban farmer, and we are actually coming from Indonesia, a beautiful tropical country in Southeast Asia. But before I start my story, I want to ask you a little question. Who is in the room that love to have bacon for their breakfast? Showing a hand. Oh my God, 95%? Okay, so imagine this, right? You're coming to a new country. You do not quite speak the language. You do not understand the economic, social, financial system, right? You come in, you resettle it in a strange place. And you love bacon for your breakfast. So you go out to a grocery store around the block and you ask the grocery attendant, I would like to purchase some bacon. And this attendant look at you and they're like, oh, bacon? How to spell bacon? And I spelled the bacon, B-A-C-O-N, and they're like, we do not know what bacon is. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I go to bigger store, to a supermarket, grocery, bigger store, and I asked the attendant, we would like to buy some bacon because I've been through aisles and aisles, I couldn't find any bacon. And the store manager say like, we don't really sell bacon here. There is, I don't think we have bacon in the state. In the entire state? Yes, and it's a shock. That imagine you are at that kind of country, right? So, like your family going to start, your wife or your kids, your husband going to start like, Mommy, I want some bacon for my breakfast. I want bacon. And you look at your kid's face and you're like, Mommy, have no bacon, sweetie. I am so sorry, we don't have no bacon. Maybe we need to move to other state to have bacon. And it's feel bad, right? When you look at your kid's face and you say you have no bacon. So that's what happened to my family. That's what happened to my immigrant family. That's why I really thank you, Secretary Redding, to make Pennsylvania more welcoming place for immigrant and refugee farmers. My husband took charge. He said, we're going to grow it ourselves. We don't grow bacon, obviously. But for us, our bacon is our bitter melon, our sweet melon, Asian long bean, white eggplant. Have you ever tried white eggplant before? Yellow eggplant, papaya flowers, papaya leaves. So when we ask those kind of fruits and vegetables, they say they don't have it here in Pennsylvania. So I'm so proud of my husband saying that like, I'm going to feed my kids, I'm going to feed my wife, I'm not going to grow grass anymore in our tiny little urban farm in South Philadelphia. He took charge. He started Googling things. He started YouTubing things. He started going to Amazon to find all these seeds. And he worked so hard. A lot of nights, he don't even sleep with me. He sleep with those tiny little seedlings at our garden. Seriously, where is he? There he is. At 2 a.m. I was waking up, I looked at my outside, he's not there. I open my window, and he with his torchlight, like looking for snail, make sure nobody eating our papaya leaves. Nobody, I mean the snails won't eat our papaya leaves. So I'm so proud of him. And we start posting our garden picture in the Facebook. And without our knowing, a publisher, a local kids book publisher, start noticing our pictures and start noticing our 5 years old tending to our garden, put the seedling and watering our spinach. And this lady, she owned a Morning Circle Media, calling me. She's like, I would love to start a kid's book with you. And we're like, whoa, kid books? Yes. And I was like, but we never knew how to do books. It's okay. We're going to work together on this. And we're going to do this in 2 languages. I'm like, whoa, 2 languages? Yes. We bring the kids' book, so if you want, we could give it up for free, but it's only limited, right, in our here. But the journey starts there, right? We start writing kids' books. We are about to write the 2nd kids' books. It's getting busy. Temple University called us. They're like, we hear that you grow culturally appropriate food that we might never see happening in Pennsylvania. Can we come and can we eat with you? And I'm like, yeah, of course. And this is Temple University. I do not know what to tell, what to say. And they said like, yeah, we're going to bring 30 kids to learn how to garden with you. And we're like, oh my God. We're just so nervous. But then after that, the churches start calling us. The temple, the masjid. And we're like, I call my husband Abi. I was like, Abi, this is going to be bigger than us. What we thought that we feed our kids, we try to teach our kids eating culturally appropriate food, become much bigger than us. And then come 2015, of course, like I say, like we eat this food, and the way we process the food, a lot of time, even though the food are so healthy, we cook it, right? And we cook it with a lot of oil. We deep fry our food a lot, and I know it's defeat the purpose of healthy food, but we love it that way. And when we deep fry food, as an immigrant person, I'm coming from a tropical country where we have no winter. All year summer, you need to come to Indonesia. All year long is 80 to 90 degrees. So we could pour our dirty cooking oil just down to the drain. And we don't even think that it's going to clog the drain, right? But we live in South Philadelphia. Who know anything about South Philadelphia here? Yes, South Philadelphia is so dense, right? The plumbing system is so old. And we do not know that pouring oil down the drain going to feed roaches and going to feed rats. And we just like lovely pouring it down the drain every weekend. And it's not only my family, my neighbor doing it. And suddenly the entire block get clogged. And I'm like, oh my God. And we do not know, and we call the plumber, of course, and we thought that it's after they cleaning it up, they snake it, and they're like, oh, it's so bad, it's going to cost you $800. They're like, $800? You know how hard we work, right? Some of our community members make $10 an hour. So $800, that's taking out the rent money and the food money. So we start brainstorming mothers in the schoolyard. We start like, did your home clog? Is your basement flooded? And we start talking about it. And suddenly we met this wonderful lady from EPA Region 3. She's like, she's American. And she's like, oh wow, we have the same problem. I thought it was like immigrant problem, right? I thought it was like Asian immigrant that do not know anything environmentally, anything about this country. And she's like, you working for EPA and you American and you have the same problem? And she's like, yeah, let's talk. And since then, EPA Region 3 helped us to develop a program that we spinning out to be called Feed the Barrel. Instead of pouring that oil down the drain, we start setting up barrels at different churches, at different community garden, at different grocery store. So when mother and kids go to church every Sunday morning, they not only dress nice and smell good, but they also bring their dirty cooking oil and pour it to the barrel. It's so beautiful because like a lot of our urban farmers in Philadelphia, they make their own compost, right? We did that too. We make our own compost religiously. We yell to our neighbors that do not compost their food. But we have a partner that's really awesome. He is Italian immigrant that understand all this Europe clean thing. I don't know even how to say it. Europe is so much advanced in recycling thing and stuff. They're like, oh, you know, in Italy, this is what we do. And he partnering with us to turn those dirty cooking oil to become biofuel, compost, and soap. And we use that compost for our urban garden. And soon, people start calling to us. They're like, where you get that compost? Because your tomato is this big. I was like, yeah, I guess because of the compost from the dirty cooking oil that we collected. So it's become a really beautiful 360-degree things that we trash, become the food that we eat, the kids that we teach to eat healthy and tending to our garden, become the beautiful Haiqals Garden book. And it just take us to places. And Natalie and Tiffany say like, why don't you talk in front of 500 people? And I'm like, oh my God, and now here I am. But of course, this is what really beautiful about Pennsylvania, right? Now, I'm not, like I call Philadelphia and Pennsylvania my home. I tell everyone to come to Pennsylvania because I know that in this state, in my city, Philadelphia, we welcome. We as an urban garden welcome. There is some neighbors that do not really like our urban garden. They say like, oh, you bring down our property value. But then I bring them kale. I start bringing them our peppers, and they start loving us. And Tiffany tried my kale too. So, well, thank you so much for listening. I don't have any fancy story like you all, but we just recently resettled. Like I moved to Philadelphia in 2001, but again, it's so beautiful. Thank you, Natalie, once again, and I hope you come to see our tiny little garden. It's in South Philadelphia. And if you want to see our Haiqals Gardens book, my husband here, and we bring some books for you. Thank you and have a good night.